PhillyVex here. Just wanted to make a video, telling you my story and how the economy has affected me. Very, very nice paying job. I loved it. It was my dream job. Seeing all these companies that worked in the same industry that I worked for, and they all were going downhill fast. I started to see layoffs for all these companies. Like every day they're laying off people. It hit the company I worked for. First layoff that the company I worked for did 15 people. There was only 200 people that worked in the location for this company that I did. 15 out of 200 employees that were laid off. After the first 15, there came probably about another 30 people laid off. And thankfully, I was still working. One day I was woken up out of bed, telling me to report to the main office. I knew what was going to happen. It wasn't obvious. So I showed up to the main office, and I was greeted by the human resources people and all my bosses. You could figure out what came next. The reason they gave me was there wasn't enough work for everybody. That don't really seem right, because the line of work I was in, there would be enough work for everyone that was working there for hundreds of years to come. All those bosses and human resources people that laid me off that day, they were also laid off themselves. The city that I lived in was built around the industry. I worked in this industry. Everybody realized half the town went from making like big bucks to nothing. It was doomed, basically. One day, my life was like wrecked. Ever since I was laid off, I had applied for like hundreds of jobs, but the result was nothing. I had a lot of experience in all this stuff. So I basically became homeless, and I was living in a state where I had no family, had no place to go, so it sucked. Anyways, I eventually made it back to my home state with the help of generous people. Thank you. Instead of worrying about all that bull and, keeping me up at night worrying, thankfully, I'm addicted to YouTube. And to put my mind on, other things instead of troubled times, instead of all my troubles.